Hey, what's up, guys? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. Last night, was it last night? No, it was actually 2 nights ago. I was at Davis Cards and Games in Davis, California, participating in Friday Night Magic. We had our Kamigawa draft, and always have a ton of fun there. The previous time I went, I actually went 3-0 for the first time. I was so unbelievably happy to be able to do that. This time, back to 1-2. I mean, honestly, that's what I did. But, I was proud of the game I played. I thought that I made a good deck, and the people I played were really good quality players who, in all honesty, I don't think I've ever beaten the 2 people that I lost against. So, the first game that I played in actually ended in about 10 minutes. My deck just completely overwhelmed theirs, and I was like, ooh, I'm rolling, I'm going to roll. But my second opponent was a very experienced player named Carl, and I've played him numerous times, and this guy just knows how to build a deck. I mean, I just can't beat this guy. I don't know what's going on. He's been playing for ages, and much, much more experienced than me. So, I did get a game in on him during our round and our match, so I take that as a personal victory. But then the third round, I faced off against another very experienced player named Matt, and his deck we were playing a very similar deck, and his definitely got on top of mine. He was playing green-black. I was doing green-white. I love green-white. I think that's a great color combination, and the cards I got in the draft, I think, really suited the deck well. So I want to check out the deck I made with you guys, so let's take a look at the draft deck I made, and then you can tell me if you would have done anything different. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. First of all, we have a web spinner cuff. I think this was actually a sideboard for later. Nothing great here. Didn't do a whole lot with it, so I'm not a huge deal. Born to Drive, actually, I really like this card. This really pumps up your creatures big time if you use it appropriately and you have enough creatures on the table. Makes a creature nearly unstoppable. It's just a huge buff. I love this card. This came into play a couple times. I'm glad I was able to get it. The Jukai Trainee, also a great card. It's just a 2-drop for a 2/2, but whenever it gets blocked, it becomes a 3/3. Or whenever it blocks, it becomes a 3/3. So this guy takes care of any 2/2s, that are coming at you really well. Or even 2/3s, it deals with them. So the Jukai Trainee is an excellent card. I think really good on defense, decent on offense too. I love this card. Careful Cultivation. It just helps ramp you in green. It makes a 1/1 creature that gets you mana, or you can equip it and it gives this creature reach and +1/+3, which is huge, and you can tap them for 2 green mana. It's just such a versatile card. I had a lot of expensive things in this deck, and so getting ways to get extra mana out there was super useful, and this did the job quite well. I wish I had more of these. Season of Renewal. This is great too. It just helps you get things back from the graveyard that you want to use again. This can be really discouraging for an opponent, especially when they've taken a lot of time to get rid of something that's sort of a bigger enchantment or creature, and you just use this and get it back, and it shows back up on the next turn. That can be quite discouraging. Skyblessed Samurai is sweet. This deck has lots of enchantments, and this particular creature costs 1 less to cast for each enchantment control, so it's not really going to ever be a 7-drop. Typically, it's a 5-drop, sometimes even a 4, which is really a great deal for 4/4 flying in the air. Commune with Spirits is really great, especially on the first turn. You play a forest, and then you play this, and then you can get more land, or you can grab the enchantment there that you see. This is really nice, first turn play. I like this card a lot. It's almost like a free roll. It's really nice. Fang of Shigeki, also a great first turn play. Everyone hates seeing this on the first. It's like, great, you got a Death Toucher out there. He just is a roadblock, for most bigger creatures. They don't want to get destroyed. Now, Network Terminal I like a lot as well. First of all, it can help ramp you into bigger spells on the next turn. Plus, you can tap it. You can tap an artifact, draw a card, discard a card. So that's a really nice effect to get through your deck. Here's a removal card. I was trying to get as much removal as I could because I knew I wouldn't have too much in this deck. Touch the Spirit Realm, definitely a must include there. Bamboo Grove Archer, also just a big fat wall in front of people. If you're playing a medium, range deck that's not super fast, this card just kind of keeps you in the game. Like, sometimes they just can't get through this guy. It's really nice. Grafted Growth, yet another way to get more mana. You put this on a land and it gives you 2 mana of any one color. So this helps fix you. It also gives a +1/+1 to a target creature or vehicle. So that's just a bonus, and I think that's a really nice ability. Automated Artificer. I try to get more of these. I think this is the only one I got. But you can tap this to get colorless mana. So you can see, like, my goal was to get, as the mana out as quickly as possible. And you'll see why. Because I have big creatures like the Greater Tanuki, which is an amazing 6/5 trample, huge dog. But you can also channel it to grab a basic land card. I mean, versatile like crazy. Oh, here's the other removal, Master's Rebuke. Jukai Preserver is really great. I've found this guy to be great. He can help stabilize your board by hitting the field as a 4/4 or imparting a +1/+1 on something else. But you can also really use it as a combat trick, channel, and put 2 +1/+1 counters on creatures, and it's just like, they thought they had you killed, and no, they're still alive. Can totally swing a game. Imperial Oath is just overall good card. Didn't do a whole lot in my deck this time around, but the Scry 3 is great. Getting 3 2/2s with Vigilance is really nice. One of my favorite sagas is because it creates a monster of a creature. When this flips, it becomes a creature that has the power toughness of the amount of lands you have. And so by the time you get this out, usually you have like 5 or 6 lands, or even 6 to 7 lands. And so it's a 7/7 or a 6/6 with reach, and it just becomes super annoying. It's like a must kill for your opponent. Jukai Naturalist. This was great. This was my pack 1, pick 2. And it was awesome because, I have a lot of enchantments. I was like, okay, once I got this, I knew I was going to go into white and green, and I was going to try to get as many enchantments as I could. And this guy just made all the enchantments come down a little cheaper. And so, this deck was able to get the big guys out faster than, most people would have expected them to be. 2 walking skyscrapers. This would have been better with modified creatures. I didn't have tons of modified creatures. The Jukai, the one Jukai Preserver, he can add the counters, but there's not a ton of other things. I guess the Cultivation could be a modifier. I guess I had enough that, this would work out. There was a time when I actually had the Skyscraper at, what did I have it at? It was a 13/13. That's nuts. 13/13, hexproof while not tapped. That's pretty nice, and it has trample. So just a beast of a card. Feels great when you can get it out. Harmonious Emergence. I feel like it's similar to the Skyscraper. This one has Vigilance instead of hexproof, and which is great because it's a 4/5. It's tough. It's hard to deal with, and when you can get a couple of these on the table, like I was able to do, that just gets a headache for your opponent. So my goal was to get these out, and then later on maybe get these out. Just big. Oh, and Juggin defends a temple. That's what made it a 13/13 Juggin. I was able to get this out. He's giving, things that I drop, +1/+1 for every extra mana I spend on it. That is sweet. And this is itself a flyer. And guess what was passed to me? This. The player on pack 2, pick 1, did not pick this. It wasn't in their color. And he was just like, hey, Luke, just take this and run. And I was like, well, I will. And I'm, this pays for the tournament. But also, it's in my color. And I actually used it on the channel ability a couple times. I had to play it as a land a few times. But it's nice when, you don't have to play this as a land because it gets rid of things so nicely as a removal. And I don't know, you can never have too many of these. Boseiju, Who Endures. I just really like this card. And I just can't believe they passed it to me. Even if you're just, collecting or you want this for your commander deck, you just keep it. Usually you keep a big. It's not a mythic, but this is the best of the land cycle, and it got passed to me, and I was very thankful for that. So I was happy for that. All right, let's take a look at the sideboard. We had Favor of Jukai, Coiling Stalker, Commune of Spirits, Koi, Tranquil Cove, Bearer of Memory, the Puzzle Maker, Regent's Authority, Imperial Subduer. We're gonna land there. Tamio's Completion, Historian's Wisdom. I got a Scrap Welder. Nobody was in red. Red was like, look at this. Red was super open. So many red cards got passed at the end, and that was kind of it. And then a couple more of these. Oh, these were also more of a sideboard thing for me. But overall, it was just a great time, and I'm just so happy that I get to at least come home with this 1 and 2 with the record. But hey, coming home with a Biseiju land, I'm not going to complain too much, right? Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.